Shut up. Maxwell.
Samuel.
That was quite a rude way to enter, wasn't it?
It was quite.
But what you were doing off camera is even more shocking.
Shocking, Sam.
But that doesn't matter.
Doctors are shocked. One simple trick.
We both know where you're going, but our audience is half female. So welcome to all the females listening.
Welcome to everyone. We're not exclusive.
Well, no, but we're inclusive. So therefore, that joke is not inclusive of our audience.
It's true.
I care about our audience.
They're all right.
We love you all. The ones that have stuck by.
All 36 of you.
That's a joke, but seriously. I've got a story because...
Yeah, story time me up.
The worst possible thing...
Yeah.
From a car...
This could go anywhere. The worst possible thing.
Yeah, it could. All right.
The heat death of the universe.
The sun's going to explode.
I'm just driving. Next minute, all I'm thinking about is how the sun will eventually supernova and consume the Earth and the rest of the solar system.
So my music experience in the car is officially ruined.
Oh, we've really zoned in from the worst thing possible to Sam's music. So we've skipped a bit. Yeah, I like it.
We have.
Yeah.
So the worst thing that could have happened to my car music listening experience has happened. Uh-huh. So I was driving in my car today and the volume button broke.
Okay, yep.
And also the skip button broke on my steering wheel.
Okay, yep.
But in a way that is so inconvenient, it has to be seen to be believed.
Has to be seen
Doctors
to be
are
believed.
shocked.
Doctors are shocked.
So the volume up button doesn't work.
Okay.
But the volume down button does.
Okay, great.
Skip track or fast forward doesn't work.
Okay.
Backtrack or rewind.
Reverse. Put it in reverse. I'd like to listen to that song again.
Hold on, just shoulder check.
Mirrors.
Yeah, indicator. Alert my other drivers of my intentions. So the rewind or backwards tracks button doesn't work either. No, sorry. Fast forward doesn't work.
Yeah.
And volume up doesn't work.
Yeah.
But skip backwards or like go backwards.
Yep.
I'm not explaining this very well.
Unskip. De-skip.
Back and volume down work.
Yep.
But fast forward and volume up don't work.
Okay.
It's fucked.
Oh, you know what? You've still got the console to play with.
All it does for Queensland Police watching is it encourages phone usage on the roads.
I don't think that's going to hold up in court. Your Honour, volume up didn't work.
Your Honour, skip didn't... I couldn't fast forward the song.
Your Honour, I could only put Spotify in reverse.
It was fucked, Your Honour. But it means I have to touch the touch screen or wait for my favourite part of a song to come in, then rewind it and listen to it naturally. Rewind it. I like listening to certain parts of songs.
I was going to say, that's a weird thing to do.
That's niche.
That's
as we are in this music
That's
podcast.
diagnosable, I feel.
No, it's not.
Do you ever, there's always there's the meme that's like when you have to go backwards on a song because it didn't tickle your brain as much as you hoped it would. Mm. I mean, I occasionally do it, but I don't go back to that bit. I just restart the song because I feel like you don't have the emotional, you need the build. If you go straight to the bit of the song, you're missing out on something. You're skipping.
You've had the experience of knowing the build, so now you just want the...
But I think, it's a bit... It's like eating dessert before dinner.
So, this is like...
Yeah.
If you were having Max's special alone time...
Yeah.
And you were just enjoying it...
Give it a hot 2 on that.
Men's heroes. Anyway, that's like if you were having some Max's...
hot tours. Sorry.
Max's special alone time.
Having a wanky. Yes, Sam.
And you're getting to the point of, no return.
Of climb myselfing.
Yes.
Yes.
And you've gone, you know what? I enjoyed the build-up. I'm going to go have some cereal. I'm going to go for a long walk.
You just described edging, Sam.
I know. I still want to say it. Going to go for a walk, come back, and I'm going to do it all again.
Getting the whippersnipper out and just doing the edges.
It just seems like, a silly way to go about business.
Well, look, it's more in the sense of if you skip dessert, if you skip dinner and go straight to dessert, you'll have a bowl of ice cream's nice.
It is.
But you'll also be like, how good's a bowl of ice cream when you've had a nice like a meal to go with it, and you've had the dining experience.
But doesn't the ice cream hit better on an empty stomach?
No, I don't think it does.
I think.
Because then you get hungry afterwards and you're like, oh.
But what if you overindulge on dinner?
Well, that's fair enough. But I'm not saying you go back and you listen to the other part too many times.
Imagine having a big dinner and going, oh, I'm fucking too full for ice cream now. You've overdone your ears.
But here's like, I just feel like if you go straight to the bit that you want, the bit that's going to tickle your brain, you'll be like, it doesn't feel like I emotionally earned that moment. So you'll like go back to get it to tickle your brain again, but you never, like, you know what I mean? Whereas if you go through the build up, you're like, I've earned the moment.
Yeah.
And then it's more satiating, you know?
I agree to disagree.
All right, well, fair enough.
But at the end of the day...
Listeners, what do you think? Delayed gratification or...
Instant gratification. We live in a consumer society.
Are our listeners big gooners? Are they big on edging, Sam? Or are they just...
Or are they a little bit on the spectrum like me?
Just fucking yank 'em and crank 'em.
Shout out to... I won't say the car brand, but I drive an i30.
Yeah.
Put two and two together.
Can I get a Hyundai?
Hyundai. Oh, I can't say that.
Ooh.
I cut it off just before it was inappropriate. Like a fart at a funeral. Shout out to i30s for breaking volume and track skip buttons.
Yep.
But leaving the ones that you don't want.
That's true.
Anyway.
I spent the day, I spent the weekend kind of keeping abreast, Sam.
I don't need to know about what you and your girlfriend do in your private time.
Well, I've been keeping abreast, single one.
Chicken?
Yeah. Quite healthy. Been keeping abreast with Glastonbury, which has been going on this weekend over in the United Kingdom, Samuel.
Yes.
You might have seen that Dua Lipa brought out your good friend and mine, Kevin Parker, on stage to do a bit of Tame Impala with Dua Lipa.
I did see that. Apparently, it's quite good.
Yeah. Well, he produced
for
a new
deaf
album.
people.
Well, I mean, look, we can argue till the cows come.
We can speculate.
But look, I had a look. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. But the one that really hit me right in the heart.
Who did Coldplay bring out?
Michael J. Fox.
That's right.
It's pretty good. The show was really incredible. Coldplay did, as per usual, incredible live show.
Too happy.
Well, I mean, they came out with all the hits. They started with Yellow,
yeah,
and then they just went from there.
When you're playing 55 songs,
but they pulled a record high attendance, about 120,000 people.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. Also, shout out to Louis Tomlinson of One Direction, who wasn't performing, but England played a game in the Euros today, or Sunday, like today our time, but Sunday,
yes,
for the UK. And Glastonbury came out and said they're not going to play the game anywhere in the festival. So Louis Tomlinson went to a local shop, bought a flat screen TV and a setup, and then went into the campgrounds and set it up for just hundreds of people to come to his tent. And there's just footage of him and all these randos just sitting watching the Euros in a campground.
So he was just there as a punter.
Yep. Pretty red hot. You got to admit, that's pretty
awesome.
sick.
Imagine just liking football and walking past. Oh, the football's on.
The football's on. Oh, it's Louis Tomlinson.
Oh my God, it's Louis Tomlinson.
And my second quick, apart from Glastonbury highlights, my second quick thing is one that I want to shout out to you with, Sam. What are your favourite bands? Just dropped a new song. The song is Give Me the Wrench. The band is Slowly, Sam. I really liked it. I have a feeling you did too.
Former favourite band.
No,
I get the feeling Slowly don't stay on a style of music for too long.
Yep.
Which is going to be detrimental to their careers. I'm just kidding.
I think.
But Daisy Chain was up here. For those listening at home, very high.
in a very audio-based podcast. I don't hate it. It's definitely a different sound. If you were, like Samuel, really into the Daisy Chain sound, and you're like, I can't bear to think of them going in a different way,
then
you might have to bear to think.
Yeah.
But I think it still works really well. It's definitely taking a lot more cues of it feels bigger, stadium-ier.
Nice.
Thank you. It's a little bit slower, a little bit more big sounding.
For me, the lyrics were a little bit I feel like lyrics aren't that important to me, but
then they are.
Simple ones offend me.
But sometimes the simple lyrics all you need.
But this, I don't know. Give me a wrench.
Incy Wincy Spider went up the water spout.
Yeah,
and
but
I'll tell you what,
3.
The rain came and washed poor Incy out. You're not sitting there being like, I wish they actually said, oh, well, he was never in doubt. Like, come on. Sometimes it just, when you get the right one, it ticks the box.
Incy Wincy Spider was climbing up the spout. What?
Have you ever sung Incy Wincy Spider?
I've forgotten it. Down came a plethora of H2O. And poor Incy, facing doom and fate, reflected on the life he had lived so far. Doesn't quite rhyme, does it?
No. See, sometimes a simple lyric, nice lyric.
A, B, C, D.
Yeah, you're not going to follow that with like something else, some hectic
EF.
diatribe.
Yeah.
Anyway.
EFG.
Any hectic something news for you?
Not particularly. Been getting into a bit of Wind Waker.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been...
Legend of Zelda?
No.
Oh.
No.
Sorry.
And I've been getting into Crystal Castles again.
Oh, yeah.
Not in love with Robert Smith.
Oh. Am I part of the cure?
Or am I part of the disease?
Yeah. But also, fuck that song, really. That scratches a party, like an itch in your brain.
Well, it does. The drop, and you're like,
I'm not in love. I'm not.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to just stop it, Robert. Let me listen to the drop. But when that drop hits, if you have never listened to that song,
Yeah. Oh.
you see stars.
It's. We talked about it last week. It's a melancholy happy song.
Yeah, it is.
Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's a
It's
happy melancholy song.
No, it's a melancholy happy. Fuck, that's hard to say quickly. Melancholy happy song.
Yeah.
I can.
He's Professor Xavier.
I'm dancing in a German warehouse to it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He is not in love. Ich liebe dich. Ja.
I can't do German.
Robert Schmidt he's not in love.
I can't do a German accent.
That's okay. I had a quick one for you, Sam.
Yes.
I just want to run by you.
Yep.
Spilt Milk Festival. What'd you say?
Spilled.
Did I? Oh, sorry. Spilt Milk Festival, Sam.
There we
It's
go.
coming back. No announcement yet on anything, but just got me percolating, just got me
Percolating.
you got me thinking, who's one artist that you might like to see on the little Spilt Milk Festival lineup?
I'd like you to go first while I quickly do some research.
Sure. I think Love, Fame, Tragedy, the solo project of the lead singer of the Wombats,
Yes.
will be a good run.
Moving
He's released
to
a new
New York.
album, and I think he did a little bit of touring here, either earlier this year or late last year. And I think it's too early for a full Wombats play. But I think getting Matt Murphy back as Love, Fame, Tragedy could be just a cheeky little how you going?
Cheeky little, how's your father?
Not a headline act, just in the middle somewhere. Because they do a good job at finding some internationals.
I don't mind that. Bit of Robert's your father's brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Bit of Robert Smith's Your Father's Cure lead singer. Over to you, Sam.
Well, they've had some big names. They've had Post Malone before. They've had Dommy D.
Yep.
I think they're going to bring back Fred again.
Again.
That's
a huge
Doug
call.
Jennings Park on the Gold Coast.
I mean, Fred has done some Doug Jennings before. Do you reckon Doug Jennings is related to Paul Jennings?
Is he the bloke that illustrated all of Andy Griffith's books?
No. That was Terry someone, I think. But
Terry Jennings.
Nope. Paul Jennings wrote like Round the Twist and shit.
Oh, it's close.
You were in the right ballpark.
Right street, wrong house.
Yeah,
Whoops,
yeah.
Forgot to turn my notifications off. You know who I'd love to see, given they've got Post Malone level before? Troye Sivan.
Oh, yeah.
Doubtful,
Look, it's unlikely.
but
I would see it, though.
reach for the stars because the stars aren't going to reach for you.
Exactly. That's what they say.
And that's something we've got to remember, listeners.
Yeah.
That sometimes your goals aren't going to come to you on a silver platter.
No.
You've got to go out and reach your goals, achieve
Exactly.
your goals, believe in yourself. And you know what? At the end of the day, you'll probably fail. And that's okay. It's about how you get up.
Yeah. As I've always said, any goal's a hole where you can curl up and die. So that's motivational.
And if you struggle to get up,
Yeah.
there are blue pills available. Just a doctor's appointment's all you need.
I'm just thinking it's the Matrix. You've been red pilled or you've been blue pilled.
Boy, you're in for a shock with the blue pill.
You take the blue pill. You wake up in the morning thinking this is all a dream, and you've got a raging heart on.
You take the blue pill. run as hard as you can at that wall, and you won't hit your face. Anyway. You've got some bones you want to pick, speaking of blue pills.
I've got a bone to pick, Sam. I've got a bone to pick.
Yeah.
There's bones here with some stuff on them, and I'm going to pick them, Sam.
Well, I don't know anything about this, so educate me.
Over the last couple of weeks, there's been a couple of think pieces that have landed on the internet, Sam, about the national youth broadcaster, Triple J. One of them...
J.
Exactly, J. Jonah Jameson of Spider-Man fame. A couple of them have been... they've had different takes. Look, in essence,
have you practiced for this, or
sorry,
have you practiced for this?
What did you practice for the podcast? Are you at home looking in the mirror, being like, "Thanks, Max. Yeah, I do have something new."
No, you didn't seem very prepared for this section.
No, I just wanted to. I'm just ad-libbing the first part.
Oh, no worries. I'll push my microphone away again.
I mean, you don't have to. You can contribute.
I breathe quite heavily, so let's just keep it that way. Let the record show I'm away from the microphone. That was Max. You were saying?
Yes, thank you. A lot of people have been... We all love to stick the boot in on Triple J a little bit, we all love to hate it. I think we all love to hate it a little bit because we all take a bit of ownership in it. And there's been times when we've all loved it, so we've all got like a positive association. And then when you don't, get that itch scratched by Triple J, you're like, oh, it just sucks. And it's not... The kids don't like cool music, and it just sucks these days. It's not promoting the right bands. But I wanted to just take stock and say, yes, Triple J can be better. It always can be better. But is Triple J the problem, or is there a bigger problem? And poor old Triple J is trying their best with not a lot of things going for it.
Look, I think it's an interesting one. I think the way music's going at the moment, well, I just think in general, the taste in music has shifted. I don't think... Excuse me.
Wow. Portal to hell opens in Sam's throat.
Yeah, my throat just opened. I don't know. It doesn't feel like Australian indie music is as prominent now as it was 10 years ago.
Sure.
I feel like the taste has changed.
Sure.
And Triple J, in a way, are just trying to keep up with the demand. However, at the same time, you've got amazing artists in not so popular genres.
Yeah.
Creating amazing things and not feeling like they've got a pathway to be heard. So I guess it's it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
But I wanted to zoom out even further than that, right? I wanted to take the lens, take the telephoto lens and zoom it right out. I think people often
can't zoom out that far.
Trash Triple J to talk about to say essentially it's not promoting the right sound or it's not promoting enough Australian music. I mean, first of all, it far and away is promoting the most Australian music of any radio station.
Oh, you're coming into bat for Triple J?
No. Well, hang on. Hear me out.
Okay, I'm hearing you.
What I'm trying to say is, go back to the Triple J's actual charter. It's reason to exist as provided by the government via the ABC.
Yep.
It's not to promote Australian music. It's not to, say we have to hit any kind of
genre
or sound or anything like that. The reason that Triple J exists is to provide a national youth broadcast because in the years when it started out, commercial radio stations were in the capital cities, a couple of major regional towns, and that's about it. If you were living in the sticks, you couldn't just turn to 105.3 and listen to the latest and greatest.
No.
So its job is to provide youth broadcasting right across the country. So that includes playing some mainstream hits. There are people out there who are like, they shouldn't play any Beyonce. They shouldn't play any whatever. But if you're in, again, pick a random fucking town out the back of Burke, Triple J is your only access to that as a radio station. And yes, things have changed and Spotify and all those things now, and you can get the internet. But think about when Triple J was founded, that didn't exist. It had to provide access to that kind of music for everyone, and as it slowly rolled out. And so, I think instead of sitting here and being like, Triple J doesn't do enough of this, this, and this, say, well, does the Triple J charter need to change? It's a bigger conversation than just calling up and being like, man, I fucking hate Triple J, it's changed. If you wanted to change, actually sit down and think about what is the purpose of Triple J now, instead of just being like, oh, they don't play the music I like, or they play too much fucking commercial music, or whatever. Like it's going beyond. Like and part of it is like there are a lot of bands that are like quite mainstream that still only Triple J plays.
Yeah.
Like off the top of my head, let's say Charlie XCX, right?
Yeah.
Biggest album, like her album that dropped, huge, full mainstream album, right? Triple J is still the only radio station that really plays much of it. There's flecks of it that come in on some of the commercial stations, but like as like and like they've played Charlie XCX from the beginning when it was like I don't care with Icona Pop and whatever. So like there's that connected line. So like when people like I understand the frustrations. I'm not trying to say like Triple J is perfect, but I think it's a case of like consider what you actually want it to do. Like a lot of people like just to destroy Triple J because they're like, it doesn't serve me and what I want. And it's like, what is the purpose of it as a national broadcaster? Not just what is the purpose of it for Sam and Max who sit in a metro major market.
Yeah.
And
you're not playing my favourite band. Yeah. It doesn't matter that they haven't released an album in 10 years.
Yeah, or you're not playing enough the tiny band that lives 3 doors down from my house that you know I like. Well, that's what community radio is for. Like Triple J has to be somewhere in the middle.
Tell you what though, this is a grilling. I make one phone call to Triple J and all of a sudden I'm getting an on-air feedback session.
And the other one, while I'm here actually. Well, I'm on my fucking high horse.
Well, I think the moral of the story before you get to the next one is there needs to be 78 amped radio.
78 amps radio.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. Petition your local station and we'll get on air.
The complaints will be like, fuck, they don't shut up.
These guys never play music.
And they don't even do ads. I'm pretty sure they're pissed half the time.
And the other one that's tricky is, and
it's tricky.
I'm taking aim at you here.
What have I done?
To some degree.
Oh, get fucked.
Triple J don't and really have never had any sway in who gets put on festival lineups. Like, apart from the ones that they specifically run, like One Night Stand and stuff like that. Like, they do indirectly in the sense that, like...
Do they have any sway?
They do in the sense that, like, you know, if you are programming an alternative festival or a festival that has alternative bands, the bands that Triple J promotes are probably popular alternative bands. So, like, the bands that are big on Triple J will probably be bands that you look to like, fucking go with. But there's not, like, any, like, direct, hey, you should put this band on. And there never has been.
You've come out swinging today.
Because the other thing is, like, festivals, famously, need to make money.
Do they?
Well, either that or they shut down. So, like...
I didn't know that.
So having like Triple J that doesn't have a commercial incentive program your festival is not going to be a good way to make money.
Yeah. It seems like something you're quite passionate about.
Yeah. Because, and here's the thing. I think that a lot of what Triple J cop should be directed at the broader Australian media landscape. Like, if you tune into...
I mean, B105 and, like, Nova and... Oh, it's fucked.
They all play... It's all the same... The
Swift, Post Malone, they think they're a bit edgy because Post Malone's going country.
Yeah. 80s, 90s and now. Now covers a lot.
It does.
But
now is just pop.
Yeah. Whereas...
Knocked Loose dropped an album
100%.
Like a month ago. Imagine Knocked Loose on Hot 91.
Hot 91 Sunshine Coast?
Yeah.
Fair enough. But, like, also,
last week.
there's big Australian bands that are, like, quite popular and successful and would be good on commercial radio that get no coverage. Like, a band like Confidence Man that is just played like the Pyramid stage at Glastonbury. They drop very commercial-friendly radio music. Some of it, at least. Like, some of it's a bit cheeky. But, like...
But, like, Nova would never play Tammy Parler or Lime Cordial.
No.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like...
So, Silent Voho.
I've said it before. Bands that get big on Triple J need a place to graduate to.
Yeah.
Like, put them on commercial radio.
78 amped radio.
Exactly. But even, like, think about TV. Like, back in the day, like, stings and stuff, like, just channel sweepers that would be, like, coming up next on Channel 7 or Channel 9 would have, like, an Australian band mixed in there. Nowadays, it is Who. Like...
The Who?
It's The Who. The Mongolian throat singing
You know
band.
who I actually think does it well?
Yeah.
Channel 7 Footy.
Yeah, actually they do. They do it pretty well.
I've seen, like, Ocean Grove on there. They get players to send in, like, songs. It's actually... They end up getting, like, quite a wide spread of great Australian rock bands.
And we've also talked about this on the podcast. Why do the NRL and the AFL have a halftime show at every game? That's a local band.
Yeah. A lot of money to put on.
But 20...
Well, because, there's Oz kickers at halftime in the AFL.
And that's fine. Like, they take up half a field. And same with the NRL. Like, the juniors come out and they play a bit of, like, fucking half, you know. You have 20 minutes of that. You have a 2-song set. Like, the setup and set down is while the juniors are playing footy.
Yeah.
Band comes out, plays 10, 15-minute set, 2 or 3 songs.
Well, the band could play on the concourse somewhere.
100%.
Yeah.
You got a huge crowd. You got it being broadcast nationally. It's great. It's a great opportunity for all these local bands, and it's a great chance for 10,000 up to 50,000 people to see band.
Yeah.
Or you could have, Tapper Trap. Or you could have Tapper Trap at the State of Origin.
Fucking God. Did you watch that?
No.
Oh. The bloke wrote a song so hard he can't sing it.
Anyway, one last thought.
Yes.
Commercial radio stations. This gets no coverage, but it's a fun fact. Commercial radio stations were petitioning the Australian government over whether or not they should pay more in licensing fees for music. Like, so the way that licensing works for radio is slightly different to how it works for Spotify and all that kind of stuff. It's like bulk bargained essentially, and they pay a certain level for all artists, right? And then you log all the ones that you've played, and then that gets distributed.
Yeah,
that way. All the commercial radio stations basically successfully lobbied the Australian government to not recommend that the fee gets increased. Haven't heard about anything about that. We're out here being like, Triple J doesn't play my favourite band. Meanwhile, the commercial radio station's like, hey, what if we just didn't pay you as much?
Yeah. Hey, you know how you spend thousands recording those songs and Spotify doesn't pay you anything?
Yeah.
We don't want to either.
Yeah.
If Spotify's doing it, we're going to do what they do.
So, look, go ahead. Triple J can be better. But Triple J is part of a broader Australian media.
Broader problem, isn't it?
It is very much a broader problem.
That's one problem, but you've got to zoom out and see the whole problem.
Symptomatic of a broader disease that's hollowing out the Australian media, isn't it?
Let's do that. You got something on. Yeah, now you got it. Nice. It was your passion. You got passion on your lip.
Anyway. And rant.
Well done.
Thanks.
I knew nothing about what you were saying,
That's
but
fine.
I liked it.
I just wanted to tee off.
Yeah, well.
Had some thoughts, Sam.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, it's time for Sam's suitcase.
Mate, zip it up.
Oh, sorry. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Unzip.
Where are we? You never said there was a couch. Sam's suitcase. So, it's come to my attention through our social media activity that there are just some bands that people for the life of them can't get around. And they could like the style. Mm-hmm. And I just mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. I really like alternative rock and like grungy stuff with a tiny bit of heavy.
Yeah.
But I don't like the Deftones.
Mm-hmm.
Or Deftones. There's no the in it. But I don't like Deftones.
Yes.
And I can't get into it for the life of me. So I thought we could play a bit of, if you don't like this band, try this one.
Like another way in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try the back door. Front door locked, go the back door.
Oh.
But always
get consent.
Always ask for a key.
That's true.
I'll go first because for me, coming from a heavy world, if you don't like Knocked Loose, can be from the vocals is usually the one that...
They're a divisive band.
They're a divisive band when it comes to Mr. Garris's vocals.
Yep.
Try Throne.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much the same band. Deeper vocals.
Yep.
The songs go for 1.5 to 2.5 minutes. So you'll know very quickly if you like them or not.
Yep.
Still hit you in the face like a pound of rocks. Mm-hmm. But just a little bit of... rather than... you know?
It's a different timbre in the...
Yeah, and there's no barking. If you do like the Knocked Loose instrumentals... No, I fucked that up. If you don't like the Knocked Loose instrumentals and you like the Knocked Loose vocals, try Dog Park.
It's the sweet, sweet backing of nature.
Perhaps a Staffy. Or you need a Shih Tzu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sort of like an annoying one. Do you catch my drift with where I'm going?
I like what you're picking up. I like what you're putting up. picking up.
You're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yep. I'm
running out of hands here.
I'm stepping in what you're shitting, Sam.
I use toilet paper.
I had to think about some of these. The Avalanches, you know, I've struggled to get into the Avalanches before.
I have too.
But sometimes I feel like there's too many little samples.
Yeah.
Like it's a bit too choppy and changey. But the producer Girl Talk
Okay.
hasn't necessarily released a heap in the last little while, but does a very good version, not version, but like a similar kind of idea as the Avalanches, where they're taking lots of little samples from other songs and other sounds and then putting together to make songs, which is, you know, it's pretty common in the production world. But I think what Girl Talk do is each sample, you get a bit more of each sample, so you can kind of lock in to be like, I know where that sample's from. I know what song that we're listening to here. And you can kind of like crowbar in off the back of being like, I like the song that's sampling, so maybe I'll give this a listen. And I think that's a way to get into that kind of like choppy, changey production style. That
So once you start there, it's easier to...
Yeah.
It's like a gateway band.
It is a gateway band.
Well, not a band.
Gateway artist.
Producer.
Yes. Yes.
They're the marijuana of producers.
I know. Reefer Madness with Girl Talk.
Down with the ganja.
Pass the Girl Talk from the left-hand side, as I always say, Sam.
I've got one.
Yep.
Another sort of divisive artist, which is strange, but people either love him or just can't get into him. Omar Apollo.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got some great little bops.
Yep.
And he's sort of like it's like soulful pop music with a nice sort of ranged vocal. The boy can go high, he can go low, but he changes up his tunes a fair bit.
Yep.
There's an artist called Renow.
Oh, yeah.
But if you don't like Omar Apollo, start with Renow. His song Pressure, fucks. It just fucks.
Would it be on Sam's fuck playlist?
No.
Songs to lay pipe to?
No, because that's like Bob the Builder soundtrack.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
Can he fix it? No, he's fucked it.
And then I go, yes, I can! Oh! Lucky my girlfriend doesn't listen to this podcast. But Renown, Pressure. Start with that, and if you like that, you could get into like Go Away by Omar Apollo.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, they're like that.
Nice.
They're like that.
It took me a long time to get into heavy music, Sam. Not even necessarily like thrashy, like hardcore stuff. Even just your classic metal, like a Metallica, a Megadeth, a Slayer, an Anthrax, something like that.
Yeah.
Like
Anthrax was hard for a lot of people to get out of.
Jesus, that's grim. Shout out 2001 with the Anthrax.
I thought that was a bowler.
No, 2020.
If you do have symptoms, please see a healthcare professional.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, you know what kind of got me into metal a little bit was when I went back and kind of, especially with Iron Maiden, like it's a bit more like it's basically just regular rock.
Yeah, with just the guitars aren't even that heavy.
Not really. And Bruce Dickinson is just like, run for the hills. And like, it's all the theatricality of Metallica without Lars Ulrich. And I just think that's so much better, you know? Guys, it's me, Lars, and I don't... Enter Sandman is one of my favorite songs. Like, he's just fuck off.
He goes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
And then he...
my clicking was 2 in time. So.
Occasionally just...
It's progressive.
It's something. So, yeah.
So Iron Maiden.
Listen to Iron Maiden.
Yeah. If you don't like Radiohead.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. Leave it there. Leave it out.
That's all.
Leave it alone.
Phoebe Bridgers.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of female artists doing the Phoebe Bridgers sound now.
Yes.
So Phoebe Bridgers isn't one I've been able to get into personally much.
Not potpourri.
Not per my taste.
Yeah.
But if you don't like Phoebe Bridgers, try Saros.
We still haven't nailed how to say that one.
I don't know how to say it.
Spell it for him.
Searows. But everything emotional about Phoebe Bridgers is Saros. I don't know. But don't listen to it too frequently or you will cry.
And this last one, this one goes out to my parents. If you don't like rap music.
Shout out, Danny!
If you like rap music, especially 90s rap music.
Yes.
Go back and listen to the songs that they're sampling. because they're almost always sampling some old 70s or 80s disco song or some soul music or something like that. You can easily get into it. So songs like, California Love by Tupac is sampling like Zap Dance Floor.
Yep.
The NWA song Express Yourself is almost a wholesale sample of another song called Express Yourself, which is just this like 50s or 60s like soul song. Hits on the Bong by Cypress Hills samples Dusty Springfield, Son of a Preacher Man. Like, go back, listen to the sample, then come back and be like, okay, how did they chop this and change this? Where's the artistry? And yeah, Mum and Dad, that's how you can get into rap music.
Shout out Maxwell's parents. Well, that's the first part of Sam's suitcase unpacked.
Take the... You sort of like you unzipped one side and then you've now unzipped
so now we've got the mesh part that we've got to
unzip. Yeah.
Old songs that need to be covered or remixed by current artists.
I like this. I like this a lot.
I do too, because we've done some digging and there are some serious... There's potential for like all-time covers or remix. We're talking Skrillex doing his stuff. I don't know what he's covered.
Yeah, fuck! I loved it when he covered
Royal Otis cover territory.
If you're coming up for a like a version,
and
you're like, man, what song should we cover? Here's some ideas.
Yeah, if you're coming up for a like a version, or you've got a set at Coachella next year and you want to do a sick remix, you've come to the right place.
Maybe, or we might see you down a fucked path.
Well, speaking of Skrillex, I've got one that I'd love to see him do. Boom by POD, which if people don't know, it is literally. Here Comes the Boom.
Soundtrack of so many NRL biggest hits videos.
Oh, I was making highlights videos with that as my background music when I was about 14. And it was in about 240p. Oh, so good.
Watching it on your iPod Nano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here Comes the Boom. But Skrillex could do so many cool things with that. Run it straight challenge in the mosh. Wall of Death, Run It Straight.
Sam, a song that you were a bit too young for. Honey to the Bee by Billy Piper. Fucking tune. I reckon would be a perfect, like, Royal Otis did Murder on the Dance Floor, brought it back.
Is that like M to the B?
Absolutely nothing like M to the B. But Honey to the Bee would be, it's prime, it's a ripe fruit ready for the picking of someone who's just like a versioning.
Just got to twist it and... Yeah, nice. I like that. The South Park intro song.
I've heard of it by Primus.
By Primus.
And I'm not talking about the internet provider.
I don't know. I just feel like there's a DJ out there that can make the South Park theme song into a mad warehouse rave drum and bass.
Going down South Park.
Yeah. The beat in it, you could make that very drum and bass.
Yep.
Potentially with like... the goths doing all the arm twist dances and stuff.
A real cyber goth vibe.
Yeah, cyber goth.
Yeah, I like it.
I probably wouldn't go to that rave. I'd be a little bit intimidated, but...
I'd love to see you at a rave.
It'd be like me at a gig.
You at a rave would be like my dad at a rap show. Just like, what's going on here?
What the... You're not allowed to do that.
He's just talking over the music.
They don't make them like they used to, do they? He's playing a computer.
The Soul Bossa Nova, Quincy Jones' biggest hit. You might know it better as the song from Austin Powers, Sam.
Yeah.
I know it as a song that I really want to hear reworked.
Is that the start of Goldmember?
Or
the one before it?
It's
The Spy Who Shagged Me or something.
It's the start of all of them. It's just the song that's in all of them.
Do.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. I reckon... Give that like just enough of a dance remix that it's still kind of loungy. Like I'm thinking a classic balcony, like sunset vibe. I think it'd be so loungy but so danceable.
I think we know the man too.
We know the man, do we?
To do it.
Yes.
Mr. Dollar. If you are watching, please do the Austin Powers song. We will pay you in frankincense. And myrrh.
Murder. Judas, no.
All right. I've got one more, and I'm going to put it to the audience.
Yeah.
Run to You by Bryan Adams.
Oh, tune.
Woo! What a tune. But I'm sure there's a rock band out there that
Yep.
could do the vocals justice and like those crazy, spacey yet like so clean
Like
guitar,
nicely reverbed.
that
but
like
just
guitar
enough.
riff that it's like if you fuck it up,
Yeah.
everyone will know, but you need it to be perfect
Yep.
to just resonate.
Yep.
So I'm going to put it out to everyone. Drop a band that you think could do a perfect cover of Run to You by Bryan Adams.
Yep.
And we will pepper them on social media. Don't you think, Dom Dollar, that you got off scot-free? I'm going to be peppering you, and I'm going to pepper whoever we land on to cover Bryan Adams.
Absolutely. I'm going to close this out with one little one.
This is a belter.
I want someone, I'm thinking maybe a Cosmo's Midnight, maybe a client liaison, a remix of the Bold and the Beautiful theme song. So 80s, so much sexy sax. Like it is dying to be taken from daytime TV to nighttime dance floor, Sam. It's all happening.
I feel like if only we could DJ.
We'll figure this out and we'll come back to it.
You can throw back to a really old interview we did with Ruben.
I deleted that
Peking
whole
Duck.
part. It does not exist.
Oh, okay.
It exists exclusively on a hard drive here.
So there's only 3 people then
that know that it exists. Well, and the guy that was at Brightside.
Yeah, so we did an interview way back at the Brightside with Ruben from Peking Duck, and we tried to get him to teach us how to DJ.
Mind you, this is mid-COVID lockdown.
Yeah. So imagine trying to ask a bloke to teach you how to DJ over a computer.
And the lights weren't on.
And we didn't have the deck plugged in.
I would say it went really well.
Shout out Ruben Styles.
Thanks, Rubes.
Anyway, that's enough of Sam's suitcase now.
Should we just tuck into a bit of interview?
I think we should. If you do want to follow us or check us out, obviously at 78amped everywhere.
Yep.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify are the big dogs.
Big dogs.
Mainly TikTok, but look, we're looking to grow. We're looking to expand. We're looking to franchise. So follow us everywhere, you know? We see you. We love you. We hear you sometimes. At the moment, our Shark Boy meme is taking up a lot of
bandwidth.
Notifications.
That is true.
So if we don't see you, just message us. And then we'll see you there. But we've got Rum Jungle.
Yeah, from the back of the car.
Yeah, it was fucking sketchy at times.
Also, you go missing in the middle of this interview too.
Yeah. Rum Jungle have tech issues. My computer dies mid-interview. I was running around like a headless chook whilst on in the call.
It's actually pretty good though.
It's chaotic, but it's fun.
Yeah.
So joining us from the Pacific Motorway. Who starts it?
No one was on the phone during, I believe. Like, as in no one was driving on the phone.
No.
You know, there was a person driving separate to the people who were being interviewed.
So New South Wales Police, stay off them.
Yeah. Oh. Worry about your own court cases.
Joining us from the Pacific Highway on the way to my homeland, Maxie of Newcastle, we are joined by none other than Benny from Rum Jungle. Welcome to the show, mate.
How you doing? Also in the car with Brace Mage. They're just in the front seat. I don't know if you can see him.
Oh, love it.
Lads.
Get everyone involved.
Josh is coming home from he just landed. He just got home from Italy. After the tour, he stayed back and hung out in Italy with his girlfriend, and he's literally only just gotten back this morning, so he's in slumber now.
Well, we ask the same question every single time. Everyone in the front can chip in too, but that is, what's been spinning in your playlist as of late?
I don't know, Mage, what have you been pumping? Harvest Moon. Mage has been pumping Harvest Moon by Neil Young, and Fraser's probably got 5 to 7 to 10 different tracks that he can tell you.
Bit of Rob Zombie.
Bit of Rob Zombie?
Bit of Rob Zombie.
Yeah, you know the guy that sings the song that's like, the one that's like,
How's it going, mate?
I am the one that's
It's like Rob's in the car.
No, I don't know.
Love it.
Well, let's tuck in a bit of Rum Jungle. Hey, your latest single is "Did the Morning Let You Down." It's trademark Rum Jungle sounds. It's a combination of smooth as butter guitars, bit of surfy, punky energy. What's the secret ingredient that you guys put in the studio that makes it sound fucking exactly like a summer day?
I don't know. I think it's just like we. Oh yeah, you still there? Sorry, brother.
Yep.
Pacific Highway is doing us in. Are you still there?
Yep, we got you.
Yeah, beauty. I don't know. I think it's just like well, we were in the studio for like maybe about a week or so. We were working on a couple other songs as well. It didn't take us a week to do that one song, thanks to the Lord. But yeah, it was in there with like Tasker and Jack, and yeah, both of them just kind of like helped us out, kind of like pulled the song into the place that we thought it should go, like into this kind of like grand wall of sound, like kind of Brit rock inspired kind of thing. And it was good because those two boys, while they've both got their massive strengths, they've got like their own particular strengths themselves as well. So it's like Tasker's got the chaos and Jack's got the order. So like finding the middle ground between those boys and all of our brains put together kind of, I don't know, mixed into a pretty nice song, I think.
I would have just said the acoustic guitar. But I actually think that played a big part in the character of the song, I think.
Yeah, it's probably a more simple answer, isn't it?
It's nice to have a bit of both, you know.
Absolutely. Oh my god, my seatbelt's doing that thing where it like.
Oh, it's pulling you back.
Sorry, boys. Such a chaotic setup. My seatbelt was just doing that thing where it like doesn't let you extend. So I was fully getting like slowly choked into my seat that whole time. Sorry, lads.
That's okay. It makes for a, let's just say, a fun energy in the potty. What do you reckon? I reckon we'll just go for the unprofessional one today.
Beautiful chaos. We're having a good time. We're having a good time.
Well, you said that, you know, you're in the studio for a while and not just recording one song, which sounds to me like there's some other things in the pipeline that you could maybe vaguely, if management are listening, we're going vague, you know, could we expect something a little bit more hearty ahead of summer?
Absolutely. 110%, honestly. We've got heaps of songs in the pipeline. It's just kind of like deciding when they come out and like which ones come out when, essentially. Like the next one that we put out, though, I reckon is going to be, I don't know, like you never really know, do you? But I think it's definitely like an evolution of what we've done before, but it also kind of like really goes back to like an original sound from like the Everything Is Easy EP kind of thing. Yeah, which should be really good. I'm really excited. And we've also been, I don't think we're trying to keep it a secret, but it's like we always put out a B-side with every one of our singles. And the B-side for this one's one that like a track that we've been sitting on for like years, I reckon. It was the question was we were in the studio for a week, and there's got to be more songs in the pipeline, man. Yeah,
for sure. We got a couple. But yeah, what you were saying, the B-side's something to be excited about. Is that sort of just, we do that stuff at home. Yeah, just the B-sides are always just old songs that are close to our hearts.
Yeah, so we spent a week in the studio with like those, so like Did the Morning and a few other tracks, but yeah, then the B-sides are usually ones that we just spend some time on at home and record ourselves. So there's the most long-winded answer you've ever heard to that question.
It's okay, we got there. But it raises the question, you know, bands, I guess, what would you call it? When you're trying to figure out which song you release when, who tends to get the final say on which song you're choosing? Is there any sort of arguments that go on where you're like, no, fuck off, I want this song?
Who gets the final say on which song it gets released next and when?
Yeah.
You wish. Ray said definitely me, if you could hear that. But yeah, it's probably, I don't know. I think it's like, yeah, usually there ends up being a bit of an argument.
As soon as you finish writing a song, you sort of go like, oh yeah, that's the next one. And then sometimes you finish writing a song and you go, oh yeah, it's a good little album tune.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You know if it's a single off the bat.
Yeah. Oh well, you know, like I feel like there's like there's like one song that we did on that week that I reckon like definitely isn't one that you'd think is just like your classic single, you know what I mean? Like, but we still want to kind of put it out as one. I think it's, I don't know. It's usually like a big debate and everyone, you know, has their say, and then
through about 50 million people before we come to an answer. To be honest,
yeah, that's about it.
Have you ever all agreed like, all right, this is the song, this is the single, and then you launch it and it doesn't get the reception you thought it was going to get?
Or not really, to be honest. Like, I think we, like, as much as we just said that it's like all of us end up, having our say and stuff. I think when the single does come out, it's kind of like, well, that's the song that we all decided is going to come out next. And, whether it's like received incredibly well or whether it's like, maybe not necessarily received the same as the song previous to it. It's like, I think we still just love it. And I think the main thing is we just love putting music out. So it's like, I don't know, it just feels good no matter what, to be honest with you.
Let's go back to when you guys started out. Just this last week in the studio. What does the beginning of the songwriting process sort of look like for you guys? Because I suppose, Rum Jungle songs often come out being so nicely laid and in the pocket. There's a lot of work that goes into that production, but what's the beginning process?
The beginning process is like, usually one of us will come up with like, the skeleton of a song, and whether that's, one of the boys sitting in like their respective room, like just working on a song with like an acoustic guitar. That's kind of where it always springs from, to be honest. And then, you take it to the boys once you've gotten it as far as you can by yourself, because the boys will always pick up the slack where you can't fill it in the tune. And then, it comes around like in so many different ways. Like some songs will jam in the studio together. Some songs will pretty much write entirely like just by demoing it and like finding the spaces where different sounds should kind of fit. And then, within the studio, it usually ends up just like evolving into its own thing as well. Like, sometimes it takes on like a completely new form to what we originally intended. But I think that's kind of like the beauty of taking it in. And then, to go back to like what we were saying about the B-sides, is that's kind of like the most pure form of what we write in the like, where it definitely is in the studio, but like, you start to get everybody's opinions and like everything comes in and things get changed. But that's probably the start to finish.
When you talk about like, you bring it to the boys and things get changed, do you ever feel like if, I don't know how it works lyrically necessarily, but do you ever feel like there's ever a change in the emotional like sort of direction of the song where you go on, oh, I actually wanted to keep this one pretty like low and slow, or this one was a high-paced song and it changes like that?
Yeah, I could definitely tell you one. But I still love where it ended up is kind of the answer, is like Lazy Afternoon, which is I think it's the 6th song on the Everything Is Easy EP. It's like this cool, mad country vibe. Like Mage ends up hopping on the harmonica. It's got some like cool little... originally, I wrote it just like, heaps late at night with a bottle of red, and it was like this real moody kind of like longing song. And then, we took it into the studio and we're all having a good time. We all must have been in like a pretty good mood, and it kind of just turned into this mad kind of jam, which I love, honestly. But I think maybe one day I'll like put out the original like voice recording or something like that of that song, because that's kind of where, that was kind of the original soul of it. But
I think we've sort of learnt to like submit to the like inspirations of each other. Like I think the whole thing that you get from being in a band is like the sound that is produced can only be produced by those, in our case, 4 people that are in the band, and the combination of what they like and what they listen to and how they play shit. And like I feel like we lean into that and go like, oh yeah, Benny likes this, Mage likes this, Josh likes this, I like that. And when we come together, it makes this. And I feel like, it's good to lean into that as a strength. It's how you sort of get your staple stees.
So I think Sam's having some equally fun computer issues, but that's all right. Let's forge on without him.
Mate, perfect. If like Rum podcast without there being chaos, I reckon.
He's back. He's back slowly.
Ew! Welcome back.
Well, I mean,
I think we were just talking about like is there any song that started off as one thing and then kind of turned into something else, and then like if we wanted to keep it the same. But yeah, short answer to everything that we said is I think it's okay to just submit to like being in the studio and it taking a form of its own.
Is there? Do you reckon there's a chance we could see like a Rum Jungle plugged album that kind of takes it back to those original forms?
Yeah. Honestly, I think so. Like, like we rarely revisit songs that we've already released because it's such that thing where as soon as you release it, it's like the people's rather than your own. But every time that we do kind of revisit it, it's like, we probably could have done this a different way. So I guess maybe not necessarily like... Probably not from the stuff we've released. Yeah, now I've talked it out. Now we've thought about it. Probably not. But I reckon like...
We always play our songs different live to the way that they're recorded. And I feel like, we like jamming and shit. Yeah, a live album would be sick. Like,
Like a live or acoustic album or something like that.
Yeah.
I think like onwards and upwards, You're not living in the past, mate.
Yeah. Fraser?
Well, now I'm back and got my bearings right. I can dive into the next question. So you said before you've just come back from Europe and you're going back to London later in the year. But what's it like playing to a country that isn't renowned for like coastal surf rock vibes? Is that a bit of a mindfuck, or do they like take it on really well?
It's fucking sick. No idea how much of it's going on over here. Like, it's sick. And then you come over and everyone's sort of like, this is different, it's new, and it's like interesting. And like, you hope they'd say that about us anyway. But it's definitely more in that vein when you go over to the UK. They're all sort of froth the scene over here, which is mad and cool to know.
Yeah, I think it's very much like exactly that. It's like, in a similar vein that it's like so many people are like, I'm moving to the UK or I'm moving to Europe. You get over there and they're like, I want to move to Australia. So I think it's very much that thing where it's like they're kind of like imagining themselves in Australia. So like listening to Australian tunes and especially surf rock tunes, and especially when they're probably in the middle of winter when it's like 3 p.m. and the sun's down, listening to a nice happy song from Australia where it's sunny is probably like a nice thing. So it was good, honestly. We loved everyone that we met and we loved every place that we went.
Love it. Bloody oath. A bit closer to home, you're about to hit the stage for Spin-Off Festival in Adelaide in a couple of weeks' time, alongside Girl in Red, G-Flip, and the Young Gravy Baby No Money collaboration. We've been asking a few bands that have been about to hit the stage for that festival. Which other artists on the lineup would be your dream collab with Rum Jungle?
Dream collab with Rum Jungle on the Spin-Off artist lineup for me. Spin-Off's the one we're playing in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Spin-Off.
That again. Let's run through them, Donna.
He's already run through them, but could you run through them again?
Look, you've got Girl in Red, you got G-Flip, you got Young Gravy and Baby No Money, you got Miss Kanina, you got Old Mervs, you got the Ryans, maybe? I'm gonna have to edit that out if that's not true.
I think you got The Last Dinner Party, and that was going to be my answer personally for me. The Last Dinner Party is absolutely unreal.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're from the UK. They make the coolest music. And honestly, just to hop on a feature on one of their songs would be like amazing, just because it's such a different sound than we produce. It's like it'd just be super cool, and I'm sure they'd be like really like cool women to hang out with. So that's the answer for me, I reckon.
Young Gravy.
Or Young Gravy and Baby No Money, I guess.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fraser will jump on with them, and I'll jump on with The Last Dinner Party.
That's a very different vibe either way.
Yeah.
Well, before we let you go, I mean, approaching a festival is so much different than approaching a club show or a headliner. How do you guys go about changing up the set to sort of invite new fans in that might be there that have no idea who Rum Jungle is?
Play the bangers.
Yeah.
Play the bangers.
Play the bangers, yeah. Nah, I reckon like it's probably like very much a thing where, I don't know, it doesn't really matter with us, like what size stage we're playing. Like it's quite literally just always us four boys having fun together and kind of like a little bit shocked and in disbelief that we're even allowed to do what we're doing. So it's like, festival stage is you're probably gonna get a similar thing to like, if we're playing the Marlin at Ulladulla, just on a bigger stage and with a few more people and like
run around as much.
Yeah, and we've got a little bit more space, so it's like I'll probably be moving backwards and forwards a little bit more on stage. But one day I'm sure we'll like make some hectic light show and make some incredible stuff. But like at the heart of it all, it's literally just us four boys. Like, how the hell are they letting us do this? This is fun as. So yeah,
I long for the day where we can get some Rum Jungle and like pyro and like.
Oh man, if we could get one of those ones where it's like the sparks like shooting up off the stage and like fireworks and stuff. Like, I would love it. And I really want to like fully curate a light show as well one day. But for the time being, we'll just take up as much of the space as we can on stage.
I reckon when you do that acoustic tour, have it with the most hectic pyro. That's what you got to do.
Fireworks coming out of all of our acoustic guitars, like sparklers. Yeah, perfect. I love it.
Rum Jungle's latest single is Did the Morning Let You Down, out now wherever you get your music. They will be hitting the stage at Adelaide Spin-Off Festival on July 19th alongside The Last Dinner Party and Baby Gravy, just to name a few. Head to spinoffadelaide.com.au to get your tickets.
Rum Jungle, thank you so much for taking the time out of your long drive back to Newey to have a chat with us tonight.
Hey, thank you so much. You've made the drive feel so much shorter. Really appreciate the chat, lads. Apologies for all the chaos.